Hello and welcome to another episode of Muhsoku Tensei Explained. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at why Sylphie lost her green hair color, why she had green hair in the first place, and why this actually matters quite a lot. But before we are going to do so, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And now with that said, let's get to the topic at hand. Sylphie's hair lost its original green color because Sylphie consumed an immense amount of mana when she cushioned her fall after being teleported. And this high mana consumption was so enormous that her hair permanently lost all of its color. And this effect, as later shown in the novels, can also be temporary. More precisely, Rudeus Greyrat also had to use a tremendous amount of mana in volume 15, which also left him with white hair. But his hair roots were apparently not damaged to the extent of losing all of the pigments. However, all of this raises another question that you might not have considered, namely, why was her hair green to begin with? Now, first of all, Sylphie was persecuted and ostracized because of her green hair, simply because she was mistaken for a Supert, and at times past during the Human-Demon War, started by Laplace. The Supert warriors on Laplace's side caused countless massacres among their enemies and their own ranks. They were so universally hated and feared that even centuries later, anyone with green hair is initially considered suspicious and evil. But as mentioned, Sylphie doesn't descend primarily from demons, but rather from elves. And here comes the first spoiler. Her elven heritage hails specifically from Elena Lee's Dragon Road. Elena Lee is her grandmother, which is why Sylphie has also a lot of elven blood in her. However, her green hair actually hails from none other than the demon god Laplace. You see, Laplace, an incredibly powerful demon god and magic caster, sent his own traits and his soul into the wider world after his defeat many centuries ago, or rather after his banishment, so he could be reborn. This meant that a very small fraction of the world's population would be born with traits like demon eyes, green hair, and a talent for magic, or with the potential for an extraordinarily high mana reserve. These traits are also called Laplace factors, and over many generations they accumulate and eventually converge into a single individual. This individual would be then capable of housing Laplace's very own soul and trigger Laplace's rebirth. So, Sylphie's green hair isn't just a plot point so that Rudy would notice her and make friends with her later, only to not recognize her in her Silent Fits persona. So in typical Muhsoku Tensei fashion, there is real significance and depth behind all of this, and the hair color has been carefully thought out. And yes, Sylphie is particularly talented in magic because she has a Laplace factor. Of course, she was also trained in magic from her childhood under Rudeus' guidance, and therefore she could fully exploit this advantage, but again her Laplace factor aided. Also, you probably have already guessed that Rudy's mana reserve is also a trait of Laplace. So behind simple aspects like Sylphie's teleportation and her changing hair color is a lot of depth. Oh, and her place of arrival in the palace and her role she now replaces will also become rather important later, or stay important. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching.